We are super excited to have you guys on this episode today.
You kind of do got to step out on faith, love traveling.
Believe you have it, then you will achieve it.
It's spooky season. Woo! Are you looking for a boo? Well, if you are, make sure he is not red flagging you. And make sure you know you're dating icks. Tune into this episode because we are getting into red flags and dating icks.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Black Girls Den. I'm your girl Charades.
And I'm Alicia.
So as y'all heard at the beginning of the episode, if you are looking for a boo, this episode is for you. But y'all know Halloween is tomorrow? Or it's this week or something, child. No. But if you have not by now watched our previous episode, that is going to be on dating them all, sis. So we teach you a little advice, our personal stories, our anecdotes of how we date. So yeah, I hope y'all can tune into that. But we're going to get into this episode. And as y'all know, we always start out with some type of like icebreaker game just to like melt in the conversation, set in the mood. So we thought it would be fun to do like a little charade game. So Alicia is going to say a dating ick and I'm going to say a dating ick. And we kind of have to use other words besides that word, obviously, to guess what it is. So it's like dating ick charade. So do you want to go first? Hopefully we didn't pick the same word.
I know. Ooh, we're going to see. Okay, so mine is, this is like a behavior. So it's someone that is like inconsistent, they're manipulative, they're insincere. And they're teasing, but it's like they're trying to like they're leading you on. It's like,
gaslighting.
No, that's not leading you on. That's like when they're trying
to
tell you something that you're lying.
Okay.
So this leading on, it's like, I want to take you out straight. Like, I want to go out with you. Okay, I want to do this for you. I want to do that for you. But then it's like they don't text you to go on the date. But then the next day they're like, oh, how are you doing? What's up? We should go out.
It's not love bombing. Or not. It's not ghosting.
It's a behavior.
Narcissistic?
No.
I know that's a trait. Control. That's a trait. Behavior. Say it again.
I feel like I'm not trying to put your business out there, but I feel like you know what it is though, because you've said dudes do that to you. Like they'll tell you one thing, then they do another thing, or they tell you something that you want to hear, but then they don't follow through. So they're inconsistent.
And there's a behavior issue.
So it's like they're feeding you what? Like they're feeding you
lies?
Yeah, but what's another word for that?
Breadcrumbing you.
Yes!
Hey! Okay.
I was like, yes.
Period.
Okay. Back it up. You could go, child. I don't know if I'm going to know the word, but.
Okay. So this is also like a, I wouldn't say this is like a behavioral trait. This is more of like an action thing. So a characteristic of a person, like what they would do or not do or whatever. Basically, they are cheap. I would think they're very money pinchy about their funds. They kind of do this on dates.
They make you go 50-50?
Yeah, like you could say that. And then, what can I say? Yeah, I mean, it's dealing with money.
A broke boy? Broke
somewhere
mentality?
Around there. It's specifically something. So you said 50-50, so like you're in the ballpark.
What's the ballpark 50-50? Like,
if you're 50-50, what are you doing?
You're going half.
So what's that called?
It's
an ick. So I'm like, 50-50 is an ick, but there's like a specific name for it.
That's hard because I feel like
if I have like two personalities, I'm like,
bipolar?
Close, but sometimes people have a certain personality where it's like they can be two different people. They call that what?
It's not narcissistic.
No.
Well, they have two different personalities. I just know.
And you're saying two personalities on both sides, and then you said 50-50, so.
Two personalities on both sides, 50-50.
So what is that terminology for that? Like, is a dividing type of thing. If you're dividing something between two people,
you're splitting. Yes, splitting it up. Split personalities.
No.
Oh.
Close. You said it, like with money. So split
50-50.
Split the bill.
Split the bill.
Yes.
Oh, split the bill. That's what they're called?
That's what they said. That's the dating ick. Splitting bills.
Splitting bills is a dating ick.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the other name for instead of 50-50, basically.
Splitting bills is a dating ick. I was like, that's not splitting. I was confused. I was thinking of like a personality.
Oh no. That's why I said it's like a actual verb.
And you was like an action. I was like, oh, I don't know. Okay, splitting the bill is definitely a dating ick. But is that on the first date or just in general?
Just in general, like.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Some women might be okay with it, but yeah, that's one of my icks. Do you want to go again, or do you want to say something?
I'll go again.
Okay.
This is my personal dating ick. It's someone who is boring, so serious. They don't have a funny bone. Like, they just always talk like they're just like, yeah, hi, how are you doing? Like, I'll be on the phone with them. I never be laughing. Like, it just be like, where is the fun and the games and the chill? So it's a habit behavior. So they're lacking something. What are they lacking?
I mean, probably like lacking personality or like humor.
Yes, lack of humor.
Lack of humor. Oh, okay. Yay.
Yeah. I can't stand when dudes just be talking. Like, why am I not laughing? I'm on the phone with you.
So this one is basically, I'm trying to look at something like that we haven't done. I don't know. Like, when they come, like, if you see them or something like that, they kind of have like a certain smell. They don't really go
bad hygiene.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a huge dating ick. So, but yeah, let us know if y'all like that little game. That was dating ick charades. So comment below and let us know if y'all got those as well.
Yeah.
So they were kind of hard. The first one was easy, but the second one, that was a little bit hard. So yeah. So basically in this episode, we just really want to talk about our experiences with dating icks, setting boundaries, and things of that nature. Because like she said, it's spooky season. Some of us are trying to look for a boo out here. You may want to take somebody home to your family or whatever during the holidays. I don't know, child, but I feel like y'all need to tune in so we can tell you what to look for and not to look for. But
dating is scary.
It's very scary. So I would like to talk about setting boundaries in a relationship first. Like, so, I mean, what are your boundaries that you kind of set in the initial phases?
So when it comes to dating, boundaries I set are like, I'm not sending you no picture. If you want to see me, take me out. You're not coming.
What if it's a long distance relationship though? Like, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, long distance, I do send pictures. I feel like more easier, but I'm not just sending, like, if you're doing it, you're like, send me a pic, I'm not sending you a pic.
Okay.
Like, no, I'm not doing that. Even if you're long distance, I'm not doing that. You literally just see my pictures. I'm not doing that.
Right.
But if you're in person, you can take me out. You can see me.
Okay.
And I set boundaries by not giving out my real number.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did tell me that.
Yeah, I don't give out my real number. I don't connect with you on social media. That's a boundary.
So you heard that, gentlemen.
Yeah, you're not gonna be on my social media. I mean, unless if you watch a podcast, you might. But we don't even put our socials on our social media. We don't be like, follow us on Black Girl Den Podcast. Thanks. And then, well, I'm not paying for the first date. Oh, and you're not coming over to my house.
Okay, yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
I would rather go to their house. I'd rather not go to their house, period, on the first date or second or whatever, but definitely not coming to mine.
Well, why would you rather go to their house than them come to yours?
Because I know where they live at, but they don't know where I lay my head at.
I feel like it's scarier for you to go to their house because you don't know your whereabouts. You don't know your surroundings or
really?
nothing.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's true in some instances.
Going to your house. I don't know what's going on, child. I don't know if you got something on your car. I don't know if you got cameras. Right. But at my house, I can be more aware. Like, I know where I live. I know my surroundings. So I don't even like the houses for the first day. I mean, I'm not even going to your house for real for a while.
Right.
But like, I'm definitely not going to your house first. I feel like you should come over to my house. Now, if we're dating, I will go over to your house all the time.
Right.
But like, if we're just like exclusive, like we're together. But I'm not just coming to your house like, I don't know you like that.
So, do you have any more boundaries, or do you feel like those are like the main ones?
I think those are the main ones. What about you?
Child, I feel like I'll go back and forth with my boundaries because it's like they break and bend.
Now, man, you try to hold tight with your boundaries with your friends, and the men you be.
No, I mean I do hold boundaries with them too, but I feel like it just depends, honestly.
How much you like them.
How much I like them, yeah. So I feel like boundaries. I think the main one is like them not coming over my house or whatever. If I've known them for a little bit, and I have been going over their house, I feel comfortable with them, then I would like let them know where I live at and stuff. But that may be a few months down the line. I've known people for months, like, and they never knew where I lived at, or even like a whole year, they never knew where I lived. And honestly, I'm very protective of like where I lay my head at and stuff like that. Generally, I try to take a good like account of people and judge their character. Like, okay, I know this person. It seems like they're a decent human being, or like even try to vet them and try to find out things about them. I'm like, okay, so I know he's cool or whatever. I think a huge boundary definitely is like calling me, because I don't like to be blown up. Like I don't want someone obsessively texting me, calling me every single day. I think that's a boundary to be set in place even with a man, because I feel like if you're always hitting me up like all throughout the day, it's like, what are you doing? Like, you not busy or something?
So like, you don't want to hear from her every day from a call?
No. I'm saying that I do, but I don't need to be talking to you from sun up to sun down. Like, I'm busy. Like, I have things going on. So I'm like, that's fine if we can text and stuff throughout the day. But if you're just like, what you doing? Like, I don't like that. Like, I'm like, So,
I hate what you're doing. We're going to get into that later, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think that another boundary is definitely like, if I tell you I don't want to do something, you keep on trying to get me to do it. I don't like that at all. Like, especially when it comes to like sex or whatever. Like, some guys kind of like press you. Like, some guys, they literally just don't wait. Like, it's weird to me like how stuff works today. Like, you can meet someone at a bar and literally like, you're over their house and then you have sex with them like the next day. And I'm like, to me it's just crazy. Like, but y'all don't want to put no rings on our fingers. Y'all don't want to date us though, but y'all would go to that extent. So I think that's a huge boundary. If I'm like, no, one thing I don't like is if I try to tell somebody like I'm celibate. It's like a challenge to them to try to press you against something that you don't want to do. And that's like, as soon as you find out a man, that's like a red flag. Like, if as soon as you find, I'm gonna get into that. As soon as you find out like a man's not trying to honor like your boundary, you need to leave. Like, so I mean, back in therapy, like I'm like, definitely got to practice what you preach. But she was like, if you see yellow flags, attend to it. If you see red flags, run. Like, so. Yeah,
I don't even really bring up sex. They're going to bring it up. And so you're going to kind of see where it goes. So like when they bring it up, or like how soon they bring it up, I kind of do it. But I don't even try to talk about it as much. So then, like, I don't try to lead with that. But then dudes, when they get comfortable, then that's when they'll try you. But I was going to say to the boundary, actually, one of my boundaries is I don't really like talking about work.
Oh, okay.
To my...
what do you mean work? Like your 9 to 5, or like you mean like podcasting, or all of it?
Well, and all of it actually. But this dude, he was like, oh, what do you do for work or whatever? And I was like, well, I mean, I just started a new job, so I'm truly training. I don't even know what it is. So I'm like, it's hard for me to explain. He was like, he was like, oh, call me so you can explain it. I was like, what? It's not that serious. Then he's like, it is that serious. You get paid from it. Like, boy, I do not talk about my job. Like, I barely talk about my job. Even to my friends and my family, like, sometimes I do if I don't like it or whatever. But like, even another guy, he's like, oh, how's work? Like, can you quit asking me about work? And then you don't ask me about my passion, so you don't get to know me. Like, my job is not me. It's what I do to pay the bills. Right. But then on the other hand, I don't really talk about what I do in my podcasting. I'm a little bit more open now. I talk about a little bit more, but yeah, but like talking about work, like that's not fun to me. You're not going to get to know who I am. Like, I don't want to talk about what I did for 8 hours a day. Like, no, I want to talk about things that I like, or like what you do. Like, I want to get to know you, not really like what you do for your job. So. Right.
And to your point, to add to that, I think another boundary is definitely like finances and stuff. Like, I don't mind you asking like what my credit score is. I'm like, that's just kind of normal or whatever. Like, I don't feel like you should be asking that on the first day. That's kind of weird. But I feel like if you haven't started really dating me, I don't think you should be asking me like how much money I make and like what your financial goals and stuff like that are. Like, why are you trying to know how much I got in my bank account or whatever?
Yeah, I don't really get those questions. I would ask somebody what their credit score is if they like brought up. So like if a dude, if we on a date, he's like, yeah, I want to get married. Like, I like you. I want to take, okay, how much you make? Okay, do you have finances?
So
to
you
buy a
are okay
house?
with asking it right off the bat?
If the conversation leads to that,
close to
yeah,
it.
like if he's like, I want to get married. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, are you ready to get married? They'd be like, maybe like, I want to get married. I want to settle down. Yeah, but are you ready for that? And are you ready to protect, and provide? Because as y'all heard me saying, I want to stay at home when I have kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we could talk about it. I'm fine with my credit score, so I don't care. The people who don't want to talk about their credit score,
right?
I don't know what their credit score is at.
Right.
So
they got some work to do, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know, but and also, I mean, we're women. You can, how we said last episode, you can research, you can kind of figure out if he says he's a financial analyst, if he says he works in cybersecurity, or if he said he work in the freaking factory. You can kind of know what they say and how you go, and you know how they work. So like, you kind of just gotta like really watch what they do and see who they are. But no, I'm not so much of like, oh, how much debt are you in or whatever. But I don't know. I'll tell people how much debt I'm in because baby, somebody come pay it. So I don't know. Like, I feel like growing up, we talked about money and stuff like that, and that's why I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. But we talked about money, and people don't talk about money, and then you figure out that your man is broke and he ain't got no job, or he doing this, that, and then you're like, well, dang, that's a dating ick if you ain't got no money.
Definitely.
Red flag.
But yeah, I think that's a boundary of mine because I'm like, I think that we can talk about those things, but I'm not going to talk about them like in the first week or two that I meet you. I think it should be a little more sworn into it. Like, let's talk about other things like hobbies. Like, what do you like to do? Like, you don't even know like what I like to do for fun, and you already asking.
Well, he shouldn't be asking you about your money. You should be asking him about his.
Yeah. So I mean, but some men, they have like, they've definitely asked like, how much money do you make? Because like, if you tell them like, oh, you're educated, like you have a master's degree or whatever, like they kind of automatically assume like, okay, so how much money does she really make?
But that's what I would say, not about you, but I think that within your conversation, I think that's it's what you lead with. Yeah. So I think that's probably why they ask you. If you say, oh, I have my master's or whatever, you're like, I'm in school, yikes. Or if you're like, I work for, your company, I feel like that's why they ask.
But they still shouldn't be asking me how much money I make, though.
Well, I'm saying, but you're open it too, and you're opening it up to him. No, I'm being for real. Because if a man tell me he works as an electrician, I'm like, okay, how much do you make? Because you're opening up the conversation. Me, I don't lead with my job. Like,
Right.
I don't like people ask me what I do. I be like, I don't know. I be like, oh, I work in this field. That's what I say.
I don't even ask. Like, I kind of just generally guess. You know what I'm saying? Because like my friend that I knew that was a pharmacist or whatever. I kind of automatically guess like, okay, she's at least making over 100,000. Like, there's some things you don't even have to really ask or whatever. Like.
Yeah, there is those type of roles like that and doctors or whatever. But I'm just like, if you open the conversation, then it's like, that's just like, babe, I need to know if you have any kids. How many kids do you have? If we talking about kids, if we talking about marriage, have you been married before? So I feel like some questions can be on the table. So I don't know. Just depends on how you open it.
So I get that. And I think another boundary definitely is like being at their house too much. Like, if we spend too much time at your house, we're not going on dates. I think that's another boundary. It's like, no, sir, I want to be taken out. I'm not saying we have to go out every weekend or every time we see each other, but if you don't plan anything, I feel like that's a huge dating ick.
I have a question, 2 questions with that. So are you saying that are y'all exclusive, like y'all are together, or are you just talking about you're in the dating phase?
Both.
So what's wrong with being at the house? Chilling.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Like, if I'm exclusive with someone, of course I want to go to their house. But I'm saying if we are there constantly, like they're not taking me out on any dates, like they're not planning anything.
But can you not plan the dates?
I can, but I also want my man to plan something too. Okay. That's just me. I'm like, I cannot do that. If they're like, they don't have no creative, like if you can't even think of taking me out to the movies or taking me to bowling, I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. It's gotta be something.
Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like when you're dating, like when you're not when you're exclusive, like you're trying to like exclusively, it's like, okay, we're gonna go out here, we're gonna go out here. But then I don't know. I feel like how busy you are, how busy it is. It's like it's hard to like date, like go out on dates. So it's like I feel like I would be like trying to balance podcast, 2 jobs, stuff like that. I'm like, I would just go to your house, like I'm chilling, like I'm really tired.
I mean, yeah, if like we're in a relationship, I don't really mind that we can Netflix and chill or whatever, have dinner at the house and stuff. That's cool. But casual dating wise, I'm not trying to be in your house.
Casual dating. No, that's what I was like, not casual dating. That's what I was talking about when you're in a relationship with him. Do you feel like you still don't want to be in the house, or you still feel like you want to go out on dates?
Not really. I still want to be taken out on dates and be able to travel. I really do. Like,
well, travel's a different one. I get
bored too easily, so
I'd be chilling.
That's you, ma'am, I guess. Yeah. One of my exes was like that. He always wanted to be chilling at the house, just moving. I just feel like if I'm in your house, I can watch a movie at myself. I can watch a movie by myself in my house.
No, like, but you're with your man. Oh, Sheree.
Nah.
I'm not saying that
I just get bored.
I'm not saying that I want to watch movies all the time because I don't want to watch movies all the time. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, though, I feel like sometimes it's like, okay, we want to go on these dates. But, I mean, dates are money and stuff like that. And I just feel like with sometimes...
Exactly. So the man needs to be spending the money on you.
He should be. But I'm saying every time, or like all time, dates are expensive. That's not even what I was getting to say.
At least once a month now.
Okay, once a month. And that's fine. If you want to do weekly date nights, that is definitely fine. But I was just like, I was talking about like with busy schedules and everything like that.
I'm of course. Yeah, so that's it's always going to be feasible to do that.
It's hard. Yeah. But when I don't work 2 jobs... That'd be good.
Yes, definitely. So when it comes to like dating, I mean, I don't know if you want to spill your business out too much. Like, do you have specific red flags? 'Cause I know we talked about this. We was like, what do you look for? Like, what are some red flags?
I guess asking like, is it a red flag like when I talk to him, or like is it a red flag like if I see him like I swipe on a dating app or something like that?
Well, I mean, we could do it in that angle, but I mean, like, when you actually, like, start dating the guy, like, what are some red flags that you look for? Like, you're like, no, I'm not going to stick around.
I would say inconsistent communication kind of, like, gives me a red flag. I would say, that's a red, not being able to laugh. It's not a red flag, but like when you're too serious, I feel like I'm talking to my father. Like, right. I even laugh with my dad, so it's like
I just blocked somebody over that.
What about like
because it's so boring? Yes, he always talked about work, and it's like I don't want to always talk about work. You know, like you do your work from sun up to sundown, which I get it. But it's like, if you can't think about and talk about anything else other than that, and on top of that, you act like you can't really talk on the phone. I'm like, that's no.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, red flag, because why can't you talk on the phone? This dude, he was trying to take me out, but he hardly ever texted me back, and he didn't call me. No. I mean, I did see that he was married before, but I was like, I don't know if he was really married or you was still married. But I was like, this is wasting my time, so that's a red flag. Because like, why can't you call me after work, or why can't you call me at nighttime or something like that? Yeah. You know? So I'm like, that's a red flag. But yeah, it's like, I'm not just my work. Like, I'm not just my 9 to 5. Like, I want to laugh. I want to have a good time. Mm-hmm. I would say a red flag, honestly, is if you don't travel too. Oh, okay. Because like I travel, so that's going to be something I like to do. A red flag is, I mean, this is kind of judgy, but I feel like a red flag is like, depending on your, I don't want to say it's a red flag. It's kind of a yellow flag. Mm-hmm. But depending on your, what is it called? Like familial background. Like, was you raised with 2 parents? Was you raised with 1 parent? Okay. How was your relationships with your parents? Do you have mommy issues? Do you have daddy issues? Right. Where you from? Where you been? Stuff like that.
That is a good thing to note, because I feel like if you're dating somebody, you can kind of know who they are by knowing who their friends are and how they have a relationship with their family members and stuff like that. Like, how does he treat his mom? Like, how does he treat his sisters or brothers or whatever?
And a lot of these men have mommy issues, and they be not really with their moms, or girls, the moms be passing away, the daddies don't be in their lives. I'd be like, child, I'm stressed. This one dude, I was like, oh, are you close with your mom? Because he like, no feeling, he like moved here from a different city, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what made you move here from a different city? I've done that too, and I know why I moved, right? But I was like, oh, well, where's your family? Are you close? He's like, why are you asking about my family? Like, it's about me. I'm like, no, you moved to a whole new city by yourself, so I'm asking you, like, what you moved. Like, if someone's like, why'd you move to Atlanta? I'll tell you why I moved to Atlanta. Because of blah, blah, blah. Like, so is your family? Yeah, my family's back home, but like, I was like, well, your family let you move. And I didn't like that. I think he was like the youngest or something, like the baby. I don't even remember it. It was like he was like a friend or something. I was like, well, no, I want to know who your family is, because I need to know, are your parents married? Are they divorced? Was you raised this way? Or like, where'd you live? Like, I ask all those questions, and it's like, I mean, I do like that side of like family and relationships, just to kind of see like where people are married, or was like they single, was you like, how was you raised and stuff like that. So I get into all that because I was raised a peculiar way, and knowing how I want my life to be and where I want to go, I'm asking those questions. Yeah, I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't say any job per se is a red flag. I mean, you know, that they be like, don't date truck drivers, don't date military men. Yeah, you know, kind of. Right. But
well, you know, the rumor has it they're kind of taboo, so
yeah, you know,
I think like, it does depend on the individual person, though.
No, because they say military men cheat, they say truck drivers cheat. Right. Stuff like that. So I don't know if a career is that much of a taboo for me with their careers or something. But yeah.
Ooh, child, I feel like I got something in my eye, and I'm like, I'm over here fighting for my life.
I'm crying. All my life I had to fight. I killed Harpo Day before I let her beat me.
But I think red flags for me is definitely like when a dude is not really trying to open up. Like if he's kind of closed off. Like if I'm trying to ask him just basic little questions, like you said, kind of with the familiar infrastructure and stuff like that. But just even like, oh, what's your hobbies? Or like, who do you like to hang out with? Or like, where'd you go? He's like just very limited. I've met people like that and it's never worked out because it's like, what are we dating each other? Like, what are you hiding? And it's one thing if you're like, oh, I don't really want to talk about that now. But it's like, if I talk to you about just regular things and you're really not trying to tell me anything, like you're just so closed off, I feel like that's a huge red flag.
Well, they don't be having hobbies.
Yeah, well, some instances, I guess they don't. Or most instances.
But yeah, I just listen to dudes, like I let them talk or whatever. But sometimes I do, like I be like listening to them, seeing what they saying, and it's like, okay, well, do you have hobbies? Do you not have hobbies? And that's another thing too. Like if they're sure, like it's like I'm keeping the conversation going. Like I hate keeping the conversation going.
That's how I am too.
Like I'm like, am I talking to myself? I might as well hang up the phone.
Because you're very charismatic and you know how to hold a conversation. So like if you hang out, or I mean, if you talk to somebody that's not as intellectual as you, is not going to be as flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you're going to feel like you're talking to a wall.
Yeah, and it makes.
And then bringing to that point, another thing, a red flag for me, definitely with my dating history, is a man who is always out. Like someone who's always in a bar every weekend. I'm like, now I do like to go out and stuff, but I try to balance it out. I feel like to me that's a red flag because it's like, what are you always in the club for? Like,
even if they're single.
Yes, like in every weekend.
Yeah, they're single. You don't be out every weekend and you single?
Not like that, but I'm not always in the club. Like if I'm doing something on the weekends, it could be traveling with my friends. I could be going to brunch. I could be going to a festival.
Well, that's out though.
But when I'm saying like out, I'm saying like in the club, like drinking at a bar. I don't want a man doing that every weekend. I think that's a red flag.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to disregard your red flag, but I feel like it's the same thing. A man out at the bar every weekend, and a girl out brunching, doing stuff like. Yes, the same thing. Everybody's single. They're doing their own thing.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they be like, where you meet them is where you going to lose them. But I don't know.
Well, I'm not telling you to meet your man at the bar, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like we can't judge a single man for being out at the bar doing that. That's just like us going out to, I don't even know, to brunch every weekend. Like, that's where you have your fun at. That's what you do your thing. That's where you wind down at or something like that. So I don't want to be like, oh, he can't go out every weekend. But now, if y'all were dating, y'all are together. Yeah, absolutely. And he's going out every weekend. That's a different thing. Yeah. But he could just be going out, and he could be going to meet a girl. I don't know. And some dudes, they do go meet girls, whatever. They do that. But I don't think we can be like, oh, he's single, so I don't want him to be out. Would you want to be him? Would you rather him be at the house playing games all day long? I don't want to. I mean, I might want a gamer now. I used to not want a gamer. Like someone who plays games.
The gamer could be bad too because they don't go no damn where.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, you dang it.
But I feel like I'd rather for my man to be in the house than be out in the streets. That's just me. I just feel like the people I've dated, the history I've had, men I met in the bars that are consistently out in the bars, they don't even stop once you start dating them. So I'm like, did you even really like me, or are you that selfish where it's like you can't tap back from that? Like you have to keep this habitual thing going on that I told you that I'm not really a fan of. And that is true though, because it's like, well, they do like that, so that. But I don't know. You can't. I don't know. I feel like you go out with your man, you go have fun with your man, because also you want to have fun. Like you said, you don't want to be in the house all the time. So I would go out to a bar with them, or like, hey, you want to go out and get a drink or whatever, even like just dinner or stuff like that. But even still, I'm just like, do I want somebody that's always out drinking? No, I don't. I feel like that's a red flag. I don't know. I feel like I'm always outside on a good note. So, but you don't be at the bar or clubs though. You be doing other stuff. Yeah, I don't. But like, say if a dude, like this dude said to me, like if I'm traveling, like, oh, you're always traveling, you're out traveling all the time. So I'm like, well, that's something that I love to do. So I'm like, I feel like I can't judge it if you're like, oh, you're always out doing something that you love to do. That's how I kind of look at it. Yeah. Because you can't tell me to stop traveling. I'm not going to stop. And this, to bring to that point, I feel like that's going into like a controlling thing. Do you feel like that if someone's trying to dock you on like the stuff you're trying to do? I think that's a red flag. Oh, yeah. Well, are you trying to control them not going to the bar? Yes. So because I don't think you should be going out drinking like that. But is that a red flag? So then would you say that that's controlling? If someone's telling me I can't travel now, my mama got on me about that. When I had an ex, she was like, well, you need to be careful about your trips because every time you go out, then here he going out with his friends going on a trip. And I'm like, so am I not allowed to have my own life? And she was like, no, it's not that. She's like, but if you're trying to be a couple, y'all, I'm like, but we do travel. Like we have trips together and stuff. She's like, but I know. She's like, you just need to simmer it down a little bit. She said, because you're not technically supposed to be like a single person or whatever. So you have to switch stuff up. She was like, if you do that, he'll kind of mirror it. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's a fear tactic because look, you're not with him now.
I'm like, that's not even being submissive. That's just being gearing be controlled.
Yeah, but I mean, I do see that when you're married, it changes like to travel. But
that's marriage.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I guess like if you are traveling, he is going to be out. But I'm like, so do you think you're controlling him by telling him he can't go to bars? That's what I'm saying. If he's telling you you can't travel. Wouldn't that be the same thing?
No, ma'am. Because I can travel and not go to a bar or even drink.
But that's something that you love to do, though. So it's not even the bar. It's about like doing something that you love to do. Like he might like.
If my man loves to go to the bar, that's a big, huge red flag. I don't care what anybody says.
But it's like going to the bar. I'm like, maybe he likes the music. Maybe he likes to wind down and get a drink.
Better get a sound bar in the house and we can get some disco lights and be turned up in the house.
But you like to travel because you like to see new things. You like to experience new things. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that's the same thing as like he loves to go out, listen to music and drink, and you love to go do new experiences.
I don't know. Get somebody else to do it.
Okay, well, I guess he did.
Yeah.
I guess he did.
You did. I cannot handle that. That's just not for me.
You think he gonna be talking to girls in the bar?
I think it could be also that, but it's also just the fact of like, I don't want somebody that's going to be drinking like that either. Like, I can see if you are winding down on the weekend, but I just like, I don't know. I feel like if you want somebody that's more godly or whatever, it's like, what are they going to be doing that for? Like, if they go out to the bar every blue moon or like to celebrate somebody's birthday or whatever. And I mean, I get it to your point. Like, if they're single, they do that. But I'm like, I feel like if they respect you, then they're going to simmer down on a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That if he is single, he can do whatever he wants. And if he likes you and stuff like that, then he's not going to want to be at the bar. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you can judge somebody for doing stuff when they're single.
Oh,
as in like, if you travel right now because you're by yourself, they're going to be like, oh, she travels all the time. Okay, yes, but she's single, she's chilling. Now, maybe you will travel with him once y'all get in a relationship or something like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get on that. But now, if he's doing it a lot while y'all are dating, that's something different. But then it also goes to be like, well, he's been doing this, so how can you do that? So that's where it's like, you got to kind of get to know who this is. Like, do you go to the bar because you love it, or do you just go to the bar because it's just something to pass time?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Sheray's like,
is there any more red flags that you have that you look for? I mean, I feel like I can talk about red flags all day, but that would be a drawn episode.
I feel like red flags, yellow flag is like if you have kids.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to date men that have kids.
That wouldn't be my first choice. And then red flags, if you, a red flag is like if you get mad easily, like, or you have a high temper, or like you always want to argue, child. I don't always want to argue. No, like even another thing, I used to talk to this dude or whatever, but we always like go back and forth about like women and men and women. Like I'm over those conversations. I'm over men do this, women do that, but like what are we doing? That no. Red flag, men who call women bees.
Oh, yeah, I don't stand for that. I don't want to be called out by name.
And females. If you call
you do hate
women,
that.
Oh, that makes me cringe. Because am I a dang animal? No. So, men who don't respect women. Red flag.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Multiple
very misogynistic. Giving off those type of vibes. So since we are talking about dating, we're going to be getting into more episodes and stuff about that. I wanted to ask, would you go on a dating show? Like everyone knows, well, not everybody, but it's very popular. Pop the Balloon.
I don't think I would go on Pop the Balloon because I feel like at this point it's just entertainment and it's just like, oh, pop, da da da.
You don't think it's serious?
Yeah, which I don't know because if I'm the one popping, if I'm the one that's like have the options, I would be serious, probably like, okay, but it's all entertainment, right? But then if you're on the other side where it's like
the balloon's being popped on you, what you're saying,
the balloon being popped on me, which I don't know, because I feel like
you're the candidate.
Yeah, I'm the candidate. Yeah, so I'm talking. So then them dudes, they just be trying to embarrass you and say whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's entertainment. But if I'm looking for a man, I wouldn't pop. Like, I would be going on there. It's funny though, so it's probably it's like entertainment. So I wouldn't do that most likely, unless it's just pure for entertainment,
right.
you know, just to do that. But like, I feel like Love is Blind. I feel like that one is a little bit better, but that's all entertainment too. But like the reality TV shows, like, I mean, like Love Island, you got to do all these challenges and like Bachelor. Like, I don't know if I would really want to do anything like that.
Right.
Ready to Love was pretty good.
Oh, I was gonna say that where they had Ready to Love Atlanta. I like that one.
Those are okay. It's still a little bit reality.
Yeah.
But
did you know some of those people on there, they were actually actors and stuff. They've been in Lifetime movies and everything.
Yeah, they
so I'm
do.
like,
they
were
do
y'all
now.
really looking for love, or was y'all just trying to get a get up?
I would do
show?
my own show, like, you know, like there's like For the Love of Ray J, Love New York. I would be like be Simone
for the love of Leash.
Okay, Leisha Loves. Is it you? Or is it you?
Yes.
Which one's the two?
Maybe could manifest that.
Okay, yeah, this is a Leisha Loves show. I love everybody but who loves me. Okay, write that down, producers.
Like B Simone, like baby girl.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like my boyfriend.
Okay, baby boy, how much do you make? I'm just playing.
But yeah, I don't think I would go on Pop the Balloon either. I feel like it's entertainment, and I feel like it's a way to disparage people on there. And I think like it's also a way for people to elevate their egos, and it's giving me cringe. Like I feel like there's pick-me-shas on there, and there's a bunch of simps and stuff and narcissistic men.
I don't see that many simps.
Well, maybe not that many Sims, but I definitely feel like there's pick-me-shas.
I don't see that many pick-me-shas.
You don't think
there.
so?
No, I don't. Did you see the lady who this boy tried to humble her? She had a wig on. He was like, "I see your braids. I see your braids."
Yes, I did hear about that.
Yeah, she didn't have no braids,
and she was like, there ain't no braids."
Yeah, like there's no braids. She's like, "Do you want me to take it off now or whatever?" And this other girl, they be getting smart. No, the girls really be getting smart. So I don't really see pick-me-shas.
They be eating them up.
Yeah, I don't really see pick-me-shas. I see girls be like, "What, hun?" So they be rude or whatever. I think the dudes be just trying to be rude and nasty. And half of them don't even be, they be narcissistic, they be ugly, they just on there because y'all are wanting to get chose,
right?
Or maybe they even want to talk crazy so that like they get more time on the spotlight, you know. So that's why I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about it either. And then they're doing it in different countries and stuff too, and it's like the same thing. It's like it's even more brutal in other places, and I'm like, oh no, I ain't got time for that because I'm like, y'all just be nasty and rude for no reason. And they'll be like, oh, I give her a 0 because she looks old, or she, like, they're very, very bold.
Don't they do it in Jamaica and, like, Nigeria, you would say?
Yeah, they actually do one in Toronto also. I just watched one the other day. And this lady, she ate these dudes up. They said she looked old and all this other stuff.
How old was she?
I don't know. Maybe her late 30s, early 40s probably. And they were like in their late 20s, early 30s. But I'm like, even still, like, why do y'all have to be that rude? Like, just say your piece of what you didn't like and that's it. Move on.
And that's what I'm saying. And it's like, that can really be taxing. And also, it's like, you see more women are on there. So, like, that affects your mental health with dating and how it's scary. And it's like, I don't want to keep getting that fed to me. Keep getting that fed to me. Like, oh, you're ugly because this, or oh, you're ugly because you're dark skin. Oh, why you wearing weave? Do you not love yourself?
Right.
Or why you got nails
really
on?
like, that's what I'm saying. Especially when it comes to black women, they really want to hound down. They be like, oh, y'all got wigs on. Oh, y'all got makeup on. But then, you didn't know
white girls wear wigs and they wear clip-ins?
Exactly.
Be for real.
Yes. And get fillers and everything else. So,
lip fillers, booties, like, be for real.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know about going on any dating show. I feel like, to me, it's not super realistic. I think with, like, Love is Blind, that was somewhat better than these other shows we're talking about. Definitely better than Pop the Balloon. But I don't think I could do any of them. Now, would you like get a dating coach or like a matchmaker? Like pay money to do that?
Well, let's talk about Love is Blind because they not all up to par either because they be doing their contestants dirty.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it's on that. I think I would do a matchmaker. I don't know about a dating coach because I'm like, I don't like, how can someone tell me how to date? Because like I said, like I feel like I got conversation. I feel like I got personality. Like I feel like I'm.
Well, I feel like they're kind of like helping you because like if they tell you like
need to find me the person.
Well, I mean they are in a sense doing that, but like what they're trying to do is like help you get better at dating. Because if you're like, what, like why do you not get anywhere? You're like, what are some things that you name off like in the beginning of the?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm bad at dating. Finding the right person. That's why I need a matchmaker.
Yes.
Because I feel feel like I could date. Like, I feel like I talk, I have fun, I'm not boring.
Right.
Maybe I need to be on mute or something, because that's who the girls be getting. So I feel like I would do a matchmaker so they can match me up, like, okay, this person travels, he like this type of woman, he like this.
Choosing more to, like, your commonalities.
Yeah, to, like, know, like, okay, like, you would be a great catch for him.
Yes.
And then we can kind of
like how he can handle your personality, like someone more outgoing, someone that's, you know, likes to talk, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I was like, let's match right there. I
don't know about a dating coach either. Like, I feel like I'm okay with dating. I feel like with me, the main thing is I need to pay attention to the red flags. And like, once I give the person the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not really seeing something that serves me well or is making me uneasy, especially spiritually, I'm like, that's when I need to get up out of there. That's what my problem is. Like, honestly, it really is. Like,
you don't be paying attention to red flags.
No, I be paying attention to them, but I'm just like, is it gonna change? Like, are they gonna be able to like figure this out? Like, and it's like, no, it just ends up getting into a bigger and deeper hole. So it's like, no, girl, get out before you really fall into something.
Because you give them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. So I feel like that's my main problem. And like, I've been watching different videos, like, not to get too much into like this manifestation part of it, but like, this one girl, I don't even know what her name is on YouTube, but she was just like, you got to change your mindset. She was like, if you think all men are bad, all men are like evil, like, that's what's going to keep coming to you. I know people will be like, oh, well, you attract what you are or whatever. And I mean, that is true to a certain extent, but I really feel like it's your mindset. If you feel like, you know, how you mentioned something about, was it a lady like Judge Faith or something like that? She was like, the next man I date is going to be my husband. You know, and she was like, think more positively about it, like pray about it and stuff like that. Like, God, please bring in good men. Like, you can't control who's going to come into your life through the universe. Like, you might still get a bad man, but at the end of the day, God might still send you, you know, the shepherd out of all these black wolves or whatever. Like, so you kind of have to weed out who these people are or whatever until you get that person that he's supposed to be sent for you. So I think that's what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I feel like I'm changing. I don't know if I feel like I'm changing my mindset, but I'm like, okay, I know this man ain't for me. I'm like, I feel like I'm getting closer to my man. Because I know, like, I was like, okay, I don't like
really
this man.
I feel like I'm getting further away.
No, well, I feel like I'm getting closer. Like, okay, I like this. Okay, I like that. Oh, he got kids. He not really for me. Okay, but he's a nice guy. So I do see nice guys, bad tendencies. Okay, so I'm meeting nicer guys. I want a kind, sweet guy. So I'm meeting guys that are like, and I'm like, oh no. And so like, once you talk crazy to me on the phone, I'm like, boy, but I'd be like, who you talking to? Okay, I'm hanging up on you.
Right.
So it's like, I won't even let that fester. So, but I'm like, okay, I have to be getting closer to my man, because if I'm not, child, then we're gonna be done. Right. But it's like one by one to kind of just see what's out there, to see kind of what I like. I feel like that is kind of the mindset that I'm in. But yeah, it's like, okay, write this down. I've written a list before. We should write a list one day. But I've written a list before. Now I have a whole bunch of things on the list. But I do have some things on the list. But going back to Judge Faith, it's like, write down. And that's what she said. She said, go to places you did. So she she likes singing. She actually met a producer. And he's the person who introduced her to her man, because she wanted like a Christmas album. So she married, Kenny Burns, whatever.
Yes.
That's who Faith is.
Really?
That's who she married to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and he's a singer and stuff like that.
Yes.
And so she talked about it, like, because they talked about, he sings, he has all these women, like, of course, he's an R&B singer, so he has these women's fans. Right. He was married before and stuff like that. She never thought that she would marry someone like that, because she has a busy schedule, he has a busy schedule. So it's just like, okay, they work. Okay, let's see who else works. There's like a lot of busy couples who work to do things together too. So that's why I'm like, okay, maybe shouldn't shun off the dude that's busy. Maybe that's good that he's busy. So we can like work together, and then like we'll value that time. Because if you are too busy, the man gonna be like, well, what you doing if he's not busy? Right. So I think I've been thinking about that a little bit more and trying to figure out. So it's like, okay, let me intentionally go to like places I like to go to. Let's see.
Yes, I have been seeing a lot of dating coaches say that. They're like, if you don't want to really be on dating apps, go to the places that you possibly would want to meet these people. Like, I don't know what that man's name is. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Coach Onward. I was talking about him on the last episode. But his name is ANWAR. I do know that. And he was like, he'll be getting real specific though. He'll be like, if you want to meet the white men, go to the dog park. He was like, if you want to meet black men or something like that, go to sports games. He was like, if you're a black woman, you can meet them at the bar or like an R&B lounge. And he'd be like, if you want to meet Indian men, go to like a tech conference. He'd be breaking it down, okay?
Black men are at tech conference. But no, people be at that's why Black as Tech was so big. They was like, go find your man there, go find your man there. Black as Tech went crazy.
Ooh, running clubs.
Yeah, running clubs. But they be really there to run, child. I'm walking out.
Period.
Okay? Like, no, thank you. But he's on a podcast tour. He been on Horrible Decisions.
Yes, he has.
was on another podcast with some. I'm like, he is out here, child, going everywhere.
I guess because his platform is just growing and growing, you know. So people are like, oh, okay, you're big on social media. Let's have you on the show.
But then I'm
whatever.
like, you can only talk about so much. Like he's saying the same things, but let me not talk about.
I'm like, does he got a man? So I'm
he
like,
does. He's married.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought so. Okay, okay. Well, then go to you, Coach Ironwall. Okay. So yeah. Oh yeah. And another red flag I was going to ask you, because I know that we are Christians, is a red flag to you if a man tells you he's not a Christian?
Yeah. So I feel like a red flag to me is like if he's atheist or something like that. Agnostic, I'm kind of but like Muslim, Buddhist, like all that stuff like that, I'm like, okay. But when they be like they God fear and stuff like that, I'm like, I gotta really see it. So I gotta really think about it too much, because some people, they go to church, they don't go to church. So I just kind of gauge it. So if I'm like,
would you date outside of your religion?
I don't know if I would date outside my religion. Like if I would date a Muslim person, I don't know. I do know somebody who's married to a Muslim. I would rather for you to be Christian. I think that can kind of be better,
right,
to raise up, to kind of just know about it. But I'm also not like, oh my gosh, like I need to be married to a pastor, minister, got to be at church 6 days a week and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, But it's like, let me see. I'm like, okay, if I go to church, I'm like yeah.
That girl on TikTok, like, I went on a date with pastor.
Yes, I follow her on our podcast because I want to see.
that.
Yeah, because she just went to Africa. He flew her out from Atlanta.
Period.
So I need to go follow up.
Pastor got some money.
He do. No, hopefully not the churches.
Oh.
He took her to Africa and everything like that. So it's like, yeah, like you don't have to be a pastor, but my dad was a minister, so I was like, oh, okay. But I'm like, okay, let's see, do you go to church? Like, but also I want to know if you live that life. Like, so it's like, are you kind? Are you God fearing? Do you help people? Right. So like, you can go to church all the time, but like, people don't really go to church that much. People go online, so I ain't gonna judge you because I go online. But I also haven't like found a church or whatever. So I don't think I would date outside of my religion. Or say religion or like faith per se,
right?
But it's kind of like up and down, because baby, some of these denominations or whatever, some of that they like introduce you to the people, show you the people, but baby, Christian don't be showing you nobody. They don't be like, oh, go on dates with that person. So it's like, dang, could I date a Muslim child? Be stressed during Ramadan, but. Could I date a Buddhist person? Child, I only eat after 4 and 4. Oh, I'm gonna be sleeping.
Yeah, it's like sundown or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I could live that life. So yeah. What about you?
I feel like, I primarily want to date a Christian. I have talked to Muslim guys, and it's like, once I think about it, I'm like, no, I don't think it would be for me. And apparently, they can marry Christian women. Muslim women cannot marry Christian men, or like outside
and that's
of the religion.
The misogynistic stuff I don't like.
Exactly. So I'm like, the way the religion is set up, it's like, it's not to disrespect Islam or anything like that, but I don't think personally I'm gonna be equally yoked with it.
But they treat their women really well. The ones that do it right, it's like they do value their women,
right?
And I mean, I will say the traditional values are in there, because they would let me stay at home and be with my kids and stuff. So, a little Muslim Christian, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it's no disrespect to the Islamic religion, but I don't know if I would really want my kids to be raised in that type of household, because, they have to follow the father.
I think so.
So, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we would probably be unequally yoked. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about values and stuff like that, but I was like, I'll be struggling during Ramadan, child. Baby, up day, morning, can't eat to the eat. I'm like, I love you, but
Right.
But I do know a couple of people who have done that, where they have different religions, politics and stuff like that. There's one lady, she's like a Democrat, but her husband's a Trump supporter or something like that. So politics and religion is like a big thing when it comes to it. So I don't really know how to navigate that one, but it's like you kind of have to make sure the values align with what you're going through and what you're doing.
Right. So, but like you said, it does work in some instances, because I know like the Jonas Brothers, I think Nick Jonas, he's married to a famous Indian actress, and like she practices Hinduism. And it works for him.
Is he Christian or
yeah, Catholic? He's Christian. Yeah, Nick Jonas. Yeah, he is. Yep. So yeah, but I wrote down like some common red flags. If y'all have some red flags, leave them in the comments. But the main ones are like phone obsession. So somebody like always being on their phone, like even when you're on dates, when y'all at the house chilling in a family setting or whatever. Love bombing, gaslighting, controlling, splitting the bill 50-50, ghosting, narcissism, greedy, bad hygiene. So those are like some of the main ones that I saw.
Yeah, ghosting is definitely a red flag. I don't know. I feel like I ghost a little bit. Ghost and block. Can't worry.
Yeah.
On to the next.
You heard her. One and done.
Okay. It is what it is at this point in time. There's nothing much you could do about it. But yes, I definitely think red flags, they've gotten way bigger since everything has been going on. But dating X is a really big one. Mm-hmm. But I think it'll be fun to, have a boo for the holidays or whatever, something like that. So we'll just have to see.
They don't meet the family, though.
Oh, yeah, they don't meet the family.
But if you have a Friendsgiving, maybe they can come over.
Not if my family's going to be there.
Not if your family. Okay, got it. Just only friends.
Friends, yeah, Friendsgiving. Unless we're friends. If we're friends.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Meet after the holidays. People be trying to break up before the holidays so they don't have to give gifts. That is trifling.
That is very trifling. I have heard
flag.
about people doing that. I'm like,
Dating
no.
ick. Get the gift. Okay? Get the gift.
Right. Period. So let us know if y'all like this episode. And also tune into the last episode where we were talking about dating them all. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. If you like the episode, make sure you share it with your mother, your brother, your cousin, sister, whoever.
Aunts. Let us know your dating icks and your red flags. Follow us on Facebook, Black Girls Den Podcast, Instagram, Black Girls Den Podcast, or the TikTok, BGD Podcast. We're also on LinkedIn. Make sure you leave us reviews on Apple, Podbean, wherever you listen, Spotify. Because we do homegirl shout outs, and we would love to shout out our homegirls.
Yes.
Okay. We have a homegirl hotline. You can text us or call us and leave a voicemail. We can give some homegirl advice. That number is 502-233-1778. Okay? 502-233-1778. All right? Stay tuned in, stay locked in. Stay locked in with us like we locked in with y'all. Locked in so we don't switch up.
Oh, yeah.
How do you do it? I forgot.
It's like...
Well, no, what is this? What is it called? It was like, as long as we locked in, we ain't never switching up.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yes, so, okay.
Oh, yeah, and this episode was like the day before Halloween, so if you guys are going out for Halloween, make sure you're staying safe out there. Don't drink too much. Don't drink and drive. Make sure you're watching your drinks. And let us know what y'all are dressing up for Halloween.
Let us know, okay, because it's spooky season. Ooh. And we'll be back for another episode next week.
Yes. Black Girls Den out.